because she's had the same Valentine for 25 years there and still going strong. Please welcome our first speaker doing her icebreaker, Sandy Crosby.
Fellow members, thank you. I'm going to read today because I want to stay on track. I'm often told that I look like a Californian. I'm a Californian. I'm really not sure what a Californian looks like, but that's what I'm told. I was born and raised in Southern California in a small community called Diamond Bar. We lived about 30 miles east of Los Angeles, and I could be to beaches in about 45 minutes and to the mountains in an hour or so. I grew up hanging out on the warm, sunny beaches, beautiful beach skies. Huntington and Newport were my favorites. I have always enjoyed refreshing and reflecting my life, and there was no better place. The tranquil sound of the ocean breaking upon the beach always helped me to clear my thoughts and put my mind in a positive state. In the winter, which was not cold by Minnesota standards, I was blessed with the incredible mountains of Lake Arrowhead, Blue Jay, and Big Bear. I have a passion for downhill skiing. My best friend has lived in the cabin she's currently in for over 30 years. My father was a Marine Corps veteran and a hard-working truck driver. Although we lived on minimal income, we had a great life. My father had 5 brothers and 2 sisters. We were a very close family. After graduating from Walnut High School in Southern California, I attended Mount San Antonio College. My father shared his thoughts about my future and expressed his desire for me to become an airline stewardess. I listened to my dad's advice, and after one class, I came to the quick decision that that was not for me. Even though he was a hard-charging Marine and a strong dad, he supported me taking my own direction. He was always a positive influence in my life. While I was taking business classes, I began working at a liquor store, which also had a deli in the back. I loved this job because it allowed me to do the things that I like to do. It allowed me to build relationships with people and cook. I'm very passionate about cooking. In addition to becoming friends with those customers, I developed a deep relationship with the owners, Judy and Ed. They were more than my bosses, they were like family. It was at a party at their house when Ed introduced me to the owner of a mortgage company, Dave, who was looking for a receptionist. On that night, my journey in the mortgage industry began. My streak of good fortune continued, and I met the man of my dreams. Tom and I married and combined our families, which included my daughter and his 2 sons. They were all around the same age and got along like lifelong siblings, which meant they argued sometimes. We were a little smaller than the Brady Bunch, but had just as much love, perhaps a bit more. Raising children truly caused me to look at life through a different lens, with a bigger vision than I did as a teenager. I fell in love with God and became a faith, family, and friends-driven person. One day, Tom came home from work and said that there was a job opening back in Minnesota. Tom works for the railroad and was working at the yard in Long Beach, California at this time. I knew his heart was in Minnesota, where his family roots are. So I agreed to the new adventure, a new journey. We packed up and moved to Minnesota, and we've been here for 19 years. For 34 years, my journey in the mortgage industry included being a receptionist, a loan processor, a closer, and an underwriter, a regional underwriting manager. As a regional underwriting manager, I led 10 underwriters and an underwriting assistant that reported directly to me. I was blessed to travel all over the United States. I had 20 branches that I needed to keep the loan officers, the branch managers, all happy with the underwriting team that I had. I was ecstatic when my boss added Hawaii to our territory. I was always open for going to the islands, but this made my job as a regional underwriting manager a bigger challenge. My Minnesota team would leave at 5 o'clock, but it was only noon in Hawaii, so I was still on the phone until 10 p.m. I ended up leaving D.R. Horton and went back into just underwriting. I was passionate about underwriting. I had received my VA lap authority and my chums number in Los Angeles, California. The training in downtown Los Angeles will always be memorable. But that was over 30 years ago. Nowadays, the owners of mortgage companies hand out chumps numbers like they're candy. New underwriters approve loans based on automated underwriting systems. A lot has changed in the mortgage business, but the part I liked best was the people aspect. But things had become much more automated. Human interaction was dwindling away. For a people person like myself, that was a challenge. I was now officially burned out in the mortgage industry, often working nights and weekends to keep up with everything. After the market crash in 2008, there were so many more regulations and hoops to jump through for home buyers. A simple loan no longer existed. I found myself constantly seeking positive affirmations and reading inspirational books to keep my mind intact. Toward the end of 2014, my journey was about to take a dramatic change. I was approached by the owner of a business coaching company, and he asked me if I would consider joining his team. Eric Thurwanger was also an author, and I had read his books. He told me that he loved my passion for people and wanted me to become his director of business development. I have known Eric for over 20 years. I told him I would give it some thought, but really I didn't know what I would do. I was definitely at a crossroads in my life. Needed a lot of faith. I went home and I told my husband that I was considering quitting my job and going to work for Eric. He was shocked and thought I might be a bit crazy, okay, a lot crazy. And I was given a quote by Eric from Richard Branson. Richard Branson is the founder of Virgin Atlantic Airlines, I think it's called. I read it again, and I went home and told my husband, I think I'm going to quit my job. I thought long and hard about it, and then I just took a leap of faith. I went to work the next day, quit my job, and I have been working with Eric now for over 2 years. I have been on an amazing journey. And I want to say that Think Great has done so many things for people that I have seen. He works with leaders and their teams on leadership development, goal setting, team building, sales training. He is an amazing leader. So I just want to say the quote that Eric sent to me. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes and figure out how to do it later. And that's what I did. I took a leap of faith. Thank you, Mr. President.
Words of wisdom there. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is well known to everyone here as a home handyman. He's not much into foo-foo. As I asked him about Valentine's Day, he said, I'm not much into foo-foo and stuff like that. So